For now, though, we're going to switch gears and turn to some storms. We are entering tornado and severe spring weather season, and a lot of you have asked how our Storm Track 8 team actually tracks these weather events. So we caught up with meteorologist Morgan Strackbein for the details. All right, Morgan, thank you for letting us take your time for this. I know it's not tornado season quite yet, but when it does become tornado season, is it easy to track them? I mean, does the radar tell you tornado right here?
Yeah, right. I'd say any meteorologist that's on TV, if you ask them what is the most stressful part of the job, it is going to be tracking severe weather, specifically tracking tornadoes. And yeah, when we're watching radar here, there's no way, shape, or form for us to be able to actually confirm that a tornado is on the ground. We're working in conjunction a lot with National Weather Service, storm chasers, storm spotters, people who are in the area, because you need an actual confirmation that somebody, yes, has seen a tornado. Even the National Weather Service will tell us that.
So nobody's going to say there's a tornado before it's been physically seen by someone.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot of radar indications. We have velocity that we are looking at, and we're looking for those little tight couplets, which is kind of showing, because it's such a small concentrated area, you have to find those notches, and we're trained to be able to find them. But then we're also looking at other radar products like something we call correlation coefficient, and that's looking at debris in the air. And if we see a drop in that, that means there's a lot of big objects in the atmosphere that the radar is picking up. So to us, that can mean it could be hail, but if it's a really concentrated area, it could be picking up a lot of dirt, dust, trees, branches, all those kinds of things that can also indicate a tornado's on the ground. So we can have a good idea that something is happening, but until we get that visual confirmation, we can't come on air and say a tornado is on the ground until we hear that. Now, that's not to say that there isn't a tornado there, you know, in open fields where no one is. It happens to be that, you know, tornadoes could be really fast tracked, could be on the ground for a mile, and the National Weather Service will tag those areas and then the next day go and survey, and that's why we have those kind of late confirmed tornadoes too. So it's a very intricate process. It's extremely difficult. It's extremely stressful to be able to track it, especially if you're by yourself.
Yeah. When someone's at the desk, this is literally what you're looking at right here.
So we have our radar, and this is basically what we're going to pull up, and this is what we have almost up the entire time. Obviously, right now, quiet. But we would have all of the polygons, the severe thunderstorm warnings, the tornado warnings, and we have all of our products here, which, you know, velocity, and we can sift through them. And, you know, the nice thing about us being prepared for severe weather events is we have those two people. So yes, Andrew's here, and he is able to kind of what we call drive the radar for James, so he can kind of sift through them.
And he's literally like combing and going section by section looking.
He's clicking through, we're looking, we're trying to peek through, we're using all our different elements that we have, like tracking if we're kind of concerned about a certain area. We also have to kind of pay attention to what's the storm motion, how fast is it moving, how slow is it moving, and then we can put a timer on it to try to give people the best idea of when the storm could reach them, but it's not always going to be perfect.
And that is something I didn't realize before I got into the industry. You know, sitting at home growing up, I was naive, and I kind of thought that you guys would look at something like this and be able to go, oh, a tornado's going to be right there. Like, I thought it was a lot more laid out for you. I didn't realize the amount of investigation work you have to be doing.
Yeah, and so, you know, when there's people who are just by themselves, because I've done this by myself, like, you know, on the weekends, we don't always have all the extra hands, or there's just pop-up events sometimes.
That come by fast.
Yeah, and they come by fast. Early morning, we just don't have the people, and we gotta, you know, all of a sudden, tornado warning, we gotta break into full coverage, and it's just one person here. You know, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to sift through all the different elements, and then I'm also trying to pay attention to posts from social media to make sure I'm not missing anything from anyone, and then also making sure I'm keeping up with the National Weather Service. And they work really, really well with us. We have a fantastic National Weather Service office, and we have a fantastic relationship with them, and we try to kind of work in conjunction with them because they understand, you know, they have 12 to 15 people in their office who is paying attention and all doing that.
They don't have to worry about talking on TV and broadcasting, and
so
they can just focus.
Really are good with us to make sure, you know, they are like, we know you're the public. You're the real public forward, and we're behind the scenes and trying to help you guys to get your word out faster. So it's really a ton of working parts across, like, behind the scenes.
And another working part, like we mentioned earlier, is when you or Peter or whomever, we have a couple guys guys right now helping us out filming. They are often driving out there.
Yes.
These are an art. What is it like when you're out there on the ground in these storms looking for the tornadoes?
Yes, and I would never suggest anyone to go storm chasing unless they have some sort of background knowledge to it. I am in the back seat and I have a driver, and I am trying to make sure I have an exit point at all times because you want to make sure that I keep ourselves safe as possible. Yeah, it's just the constant tracking and it's constant waiting. There's been times I've caught a couple tornadoes and I have been the one to confirm, be like, hey guys, we do have a tornado on the ground. Like, this is something we need to watch. I want to make sure I'm being as accurate as possible. This is very life-saving information that we're trying to give out here. It gets very hard and difficult, and I think it doesn't matter where you are in the United States. If you're seeing somebody on air and they're tracking, you know, severe weather, try to give them compassion. It is a very high stress situation that these people are being put in.
Well, Morgan, I cannot thank you guys enough for all the work you do for us and for your time today. Thank you so much for letting us ask these questions.
And we'll be interested in this upcoming season because we're shifting from a La Nina, which usually means a little bit more excitement for the severe weather.